Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Curtis, and today I'm going to review episode 3 of The Waterfront. The episode starts off with Peyton attempting to crawl away from the fire that is approaching her. One of the men put his foot on the ground near where the fire is coming, and actually prevents the fire from coming towards her, and then they walk away. After this, we see Kane, Harlan, and his mom. They rush to the house to find a startled Peyton and a bunch of police officers. Harlan and Kane want to know if the sheriff is aware of what happened. The officers there tell him that they were not able to get in contact with the sheriff. The next day, we see Harlan, who goes to the sheriff's office, and it becomes pretty clear that Sheriff Porter was the one who set everything up. And Harlan makes it clear that he's not going to do any more runs until he's able to meet with Grady directly. Porter pretty much laughs this off and says that he looks forward to him changing his mind, and after this, Harlan leaves. After this, we see Kane, Peyton, and their daughter at the house. Peyton and her daughter are packing their bags, and it's at this time that Peyton decides to confront Kane about what happened the previous night because she believes that he is involved in something. He tells her that he is not involved in anything, that he does not know what happened or why it happened. Peyton and her daughter, they end up leaving, and then Kane calls one of his friends who's sitting outside and tells him to follow them. He doesn't care if she sees him, and just to make sure that they get to their destination safe. After this, we see Bree, who goes to see Sanchez at the motel, and she tells him that Peyton was attacked the previous day. Bree believes that it may be drug-related, but she can't prove it at this time. Sanchez begins to talk about the boat, and it appears that the boat went out 4 times in the past month, and he also tells her that the boats were out for at least 10 hours at a time. It's at this point that Sanchez inquires about Tim and Reggie. Bree tells him that they are ex-cons and that they were hired 6 months ago by King. Sanchez becomes curious and asks her if she can get him on the boat. And the reason for this is because he believes that those boats, of course, were used for smuggling drugs. But also he wants to see if the AIS system was manually disconnected. She tells him that she will be able to get him on the boat. And I guess this turns him on because after she says that, they start fucking. Next, we see Belle and Sean, and they're meeting to discuss the previous night where she threw a glass at him. And Belle tells him that she is still processing everything that happened. And Sean asks her if she wants him to take a DNA test, but she says no, that's not necessary. And then she pulls out some pictures and gives it to him. And it turns out that BB, who is his mother, used to work at the fish house. And I was just like, damn, this man Harlan cannot keep his dick in his pants for nothing. He tells Belle that he wants to have a conversation with Harlan to let him know that he is his son. Belle is in agreement with them telling Harlan, but she's not in agreement with them saying it at that time. So she's like, you know what, I think that's a good idea, but you need to wait a little bit before you let them know. And Sean is like, okay, cool. And then after this, there's a quick scene where we see Bree sneak Sanchez on the boat. Sanchez confirms that the AIS system was disconnected, and Sanchez tells her that he is going to download the GPS coordinates. And Bree is becoming super nervous, but Sanchez says, don't worry, I'm going to move as fast as I can. After this, Harlan tells Kane to come with him, and he leads them outside where the men who attacked his wife are. And it's clear that Harlan and his people have already beat them up. Harlan wants Kane to get in on the action, and for a brief moment it looks like he's actually going to, but then he decides against it. And I think Harlan was already aware that he wasn't going to do it. I think he already had that in mind, which is why he brought the backup people with him. And so after Kane walks away, him and his people, they pretty much just take care of the job. And I actually felt kind of bad because some of those punches, especially from Reggie, they sound like they hurt. Porter then goes to the fish house and tells Belle that he wants to speak with her. He tells her that he knows that she is aware of what's going on and that he needs her to talk to Harlan to basically get him in line with everything that's going on because he needs him to do more runs for him. And he also says, if he doesn't do it, then it's going to be a problem. And she tells him, do not threaten me in my establishment. And then he grabs her hand, pulls her closer, and tells her that this is a threat. Then gets up and leave, and I was just shaking my head. I was like, this is not going to end well. Back to Bree and Sanchez, they are attempting to leave, but one of Harlan's guys, Reggie, actually shows up. Sanchez hides while Bree attempts to convince Reggie that nothing suspicious is going on, and she tells him that she was actually up there looking for Kane. Reggie tells her that he may be at the fish house, and she asks him if he can help her off of the boat based off of the shoes that she has. She would need some assistance. He tells her that he would love to help her. And so he actually walks her off the boat, and then Sanchez is able to escape without being seen. There was a scene after this with Kane and Jenna, and I'll be honest with you all, when it comes to those two in the storyline, I do not give a fuck about the storyline, at all. At this point, I just want them to get it over with. Kane, you kiss her. Jenna, you suck his dick. Kane, you eat her pussy, eat her ass, and then you two just fuck. That's the end. Belle and Harlan end up meeting, and she tells him about what happened earlier with the sheriff. Harlan wants to kill him, but he knows and she knows that he can't do that at this time. And Bree tells him that basically he needs to get in line and do whatever he says, otherwise it could be trouble for everyone. Harlan is very hesitant about this because, his ego, his pride, and also the fact that he touched his wife. But eventually he agrees to do so in order to protect his family. After this conversation, Belle goes outside and she gets a text from Wes asking her if she wants to get drinks and also come to his room. She laughs and goes back inside, and it's at this point that I knew that she was going to give him some pussy. Harlan ends up meeting with Porter, and he tells him that he wants to bury the hatchet, and also tells him that he just wants to get on the same page. Next, we see that Belle has decided to go see Wes, and she did indeed give him some pussy. And Wes attempts to get up and attempts to make some plans for them, but Belle is eager to leave, making up any excuse that she can to get out of there because she feels guilty about fucking another man. Bree then goes to Sanchez's room, and he tells her that the captain said that there isn't enough evidence for them to do an operation or an investigation. And he tells her that the captain actually inquired about his sobriety and also that he may need to go back home soon because he doesn't have enough evidence to complete any type of investigation. And it looks like he's getting ready to go out the deep end and blame himself for everything that's going on. And so Bree decides to give him something that she know will, make him feel better, which of course is what? Pussy. We then go back to Harlan and Porter, who are talking about future business operations. Harlan attempts to convince Porter to take a step back and to allow him to work directly with Grady. Porter is not going for it, and Harlan, he gets frustrated, so he attempts to get up and leave. But Porter pulls a gun out and tells him to sit back down. And then Harlan attacks him, and the two of them start fighting over the gun. Porter is able to get the upper hand for a moment, and he grabs the gun, but then he is stabbed by Harlan. Porter ends up dying, and then Harlan actually falls to the ground, and he places his hand over his heart, which is similar to what happened in the previous episode when he fell down and he was holding his heart. So it's like, uh-oh, this isn't good. And that was the end of the episode. I really appreciate everybody for watching. If you could, please like, comment, share, subscribe. We'll really appreciate it. You have a great rest of your day.